Vault of Glass is the first raid ever in the Destiny franchise, brought over to Destiny 2 during the Season of the Splicer in 2021. It's a fairly easy raid with simple mechanics that are great for raid beginners, but loot that's great for guardians of all skill levels. For this video, I'll be covering both the basic mechanics of each encounter, as well as the strategies for completing each encounter challenge. So this video will have a little something for beginners and raid veterans looking for some extra loot. Feel free to use timestamps and chapters to view the sections most relevant to you. Without further ado, let's get started. Confluxes are small, tower-like structures that must be defended from enemy Vex. When Vex get too close to a Conflux, they will attempt to sacrifice to it. If too many Vex sacrifice to any Conflux, the fire team will wipe. Oracles are glowing points that will appear in specific spots in a random sequence. The oracles will demonstrate this sequence twice, accompanied by notes on a musical scale. On the third cycle, all oracles will appear at once and must be shot and destroyed in the correct order to progress. The Aegis is a relic that functions as a shield for both defense and offense. Its exact use depends on the encounter. Upon loading into the raid, split into 3 teams of 2. Dedicate each team to a particular plate on the left, middle, and right. Capture the plates and defend them from Vex until the door opens. Complete this area and you'll be awarded with a chest. The first secret chest can be found after the introductory encounter. Rather than following the main path, jump down this cliffside and mid-air jump into this small cave. Follow the path down to eventually find a chest on a ledge. The first true encounter is fairly straightforward. Periodically, confluxes will spawn that you must defend from continuous waves of Vex. The main things to watch out for are the sacrificial wyverns, which have a lot of health and will instantly cause a wipe if they sacrifice to any conflux, and the fanatics, which will drop a pool of radiolarian fluid when killed. Stepping into this pool will cause you to be marked for negation. At set intervals, the invincible Hydra in the middle of the room will perform the Ritual of Negation, instantly killing all marked players. If you are marked, step into the plate in the middle to cleanse yourself. Otherwise, accept your fate. Once the confluxes disappear for the final time and the Hydra goes away, the encounter is officially over. Collect your rewards from the chest near the stairs. The challenge for this encounter is to not kill the wyverns until they are about to sacrifice to a conflux. The easiest way to go about this is to simply damage each wyvern until they are low on health, then let them approach their conflux. As soon as they kneel down and start glowing next to a conflux, now's your chance to finish them off. Do this for every wyvern that spawns throughout the encounter to complete the challenge. The second encounter is in the same area as the first. To begin, shoot the glowing box in the middle. Spread your fire team around the room to have line of sight of all the possible spawn locations of the oracles, seen here on this map. As the oracles start spawning, count off what number they are in sequence when you see one. Do this for both cycles just to verify. On the third cycle, all active oracles will spawn. Shoot them in order, counting off the numbers as you do, just like before. Shooting an oracle out of order or failing to destroy all oracles within a time limit will mark the entire fire team. Optionally, cleanse on the middle plate to try again. The first round will only have 3 oracles that spawn. The next round will have 4. Then 5, and so on until the final round where all 7 oracles will spawn. After the final round, the encounter is over. Collect your rewards from the chest by the stairs. The challenge for this encounter is that each player cannot destroy the same oracle twice during the whole encounter. To accomplish this, assign each player to a single oracle at the start. Because there are 6 players and 7 oracles, you'll have to group a pair of oracles together for one player to deal with. After each round, simply rotate clockwise around the map and make sure you only ever shoot your oracle each time to complete the challenge. Full disclosure for this encounter, the way the game intends for you to do it is by playing Simon Says with the oracles like the previous encounter, and then interacting with the boss. But you're not going to do that. Here's how you're actually going to do this encounter. Assign one player to be the runner. They'll pick up the Aegis to start the encounter. Everyone else is a gunner. At the start, everyone should hide in this corner under the platform. You're going to hear oracles making noise around you in the background, but you are going to ignore them because
we do not care.
Once the oracles run out and the fire team gets marked, everyone group up and step on the plate together to cleanse before the Ritual of Negation. By this point, the player with Aegis should have their super ready. Use your super with the Aegis to fire a ball of energy at the boss, destroying its shield and making it vulnerable. Gunners jump on the ledge to the left and keep damaging the boss. Meanwhile, the runner should hold on to the Aegis and stand in the large glowing circles whenever they appear. This will block the boss from teleporting and keep the damage phase going indefinitely. Keep up the damage until the Templar is dead and the encounter is complete. Collect your rewards from the chest on the ledge above the hiding spot. The challenge for this encounter is to not let the Templar teleport even a single time. So, as long as you do the method I just explained and the Aegis player is on top of things, you should be good for this challenge anyway. The second secret chest can be found in the Gorgons Labyrinth, which I'll cover in a second. You must shoot 3 hidden boxes to open a door somewhere. Then follow this path to the right until you hit a small alcove containing a chest and a rally spot. While not officially an encounter, you can wipe here if you mess up, so stay vigilant. Gorgons are special harpies with control over time itself. Your goal is to maneuver past them without being detected, otherwise your fire team will be quickly wiped. Simply follow the route shown here for the most efficient path to the next area. Jumping, firing weapons, and initiating a sprint are likely to attract the Gorgon's attention, so once you start running, you cannot stop. When running past this Gorgon, do not jump or stop running. Just keep moving while looking away from it so as not to draw its attention. Once you enter the next load zone, you've cleared this area. Once you cross the platforming section and approach the door to the final room, head to the left and climb up these cliffs until you find a chest near the ceiling. This is the final secret chest of the raid. First, let's look at the map. On the left and right are plates that, when captured, activate portals leading to alternate versions of this room. Many players like to refer to these as Mars and Venus, and while it's technically not accurate lore-wise, if it works for you, that's fine. Personally, I would recommend simply calling them orange and green to avoid any possible confusion, but it's up to you. Divide into 2 teams of 3, 1 for each side. On each team, assign 1 for the plate, 1 for the portal, and 1 as a floater. To start the encounter, simply approach the Vex or fire any weapon. Both plate players should stand on their respective plates to activate the portals. Once they're active, the portal players should go through the active portals into the alternate rooms. Meanwhile, a Gatekeeper Hydra will spawn near the back of the normal room. Kill it to drop the Aegis. One of the floaters should grab the Aegis and hold on to it for now. After a short delay, Confluxes will spawn in the alternate rooms that the portal players must defend from waves of Vex coming down the stairs. Every 3 waves, one side will have a Wyvern spawn, while the other side will have an invincible Praetorian Minotaur. Call out if you have the Minotaur. The player with the Aegis should go through the portal into the room with the Minotaur. Attack using the Aegis to break the Minotaur's shield and kill it. Going through a portal while wielding the Aegis will grant the Teleport Destabilize debuff, meaning you cannot go through the portal again while holding the Aegis. You must drop the Aegis for the other player to take through and take their place defending the Conflux. Then, that person will carry the Aegis into the normal room, drop it for someone else to pick up, then take their place in whatever they were doing. Think of this encounter as a continuous relay. Pass the Aegis back and forth between rooms to kill the Praetorian Minotaurs, which alternate rooms they spawn in after the first. Once 6 Praetorian Minotaurs have been killed, a new Conflux will spawn in the normal room. Everyone group up and defend the Conflux, having one player run around with the Aegis to defeat Praetorian Minotaurs as needed. Once a final wave of 3 Wyverns are killed, the encounter is over. Collect your rewards from the chest in the center of the room. The challenge for this encounter is to kill the Wyverns and Minotaurs at the same time every wave that they spawn. The easiest way to do this is for the player with the Wyvern to get it as low as possible without killing it, using stunning and slowing abilities if necessary to hold them back. The player with the Minotaur can stun and slow the Minotaur, even if it doesn't take damage. Once the Aegis is in the right room and ready to kill the Minotaur, count down and have both players kill the Wyvern and Minotaur at the same time. There is approximately a 5-second window for this, so it's fairly generous, all things considered. Once the Conflux spawns in the normal room, you are effectively done with this challenge since Wyverns and Minotaurs don't spawn in pairs during this part. This encounter is the final boss, so equip for heavy damage. There are no rolls for this, but don't worry, the game will assign them for you. Shoot the cube in the center to begin the encounter. Once Atheon spawns, you will summon various harpy enemies. For the precision harpies in the distance, leave one alive on each side so that the full group doesn't respawn. Eventually, Atheon will teleport 3 random players into one of the alternate rooms. Teleported players should call out the room they are in so the players still in the normal room can activate the correct portal. One teleported player should grab the Aegis and periodically use the melee function to cleanse themselves and other players of the pervading darkness debuff, which gradually obscures vision up until a full blind at 10 stacks. All players quickly move to the back of the room where the door to enter the normal room was. Meanwhile, players still in the normal room be mindful of the supplicants, which will kamikaze for a high damage explosion. Have one player stand by the door at the back to call out oracles. Atheon will summon 3 oracles out of 6 possible locations. These locations are back left, back mid, back right, and front right. Call out the order of the oracles so that the teleported team can shoot them in the correct sequence once they spawn there. Successfully destroy 3 rounds of oracles to initiate the damage phase. All players meet up on the middle platform floating over the abyss. Shoot Atheon until the timer on the left side of the screen hits 0. Teleported players will have to use the active portal to get back. Then the player with the Aegis should perform one more cleanse to permanently remove pervading darkness from any players that have it. You can drop the Aegis to deal damage, but make sure to pick it back up within 10 seconds, otherwise the fire team will wipe. At some point, one random player will gain the Eminent Detain debuff. Whoever has this debuff must move far away from the other players, preferably towards Atheon. Once you are detained, you will be stunned and encased in a bubble that the other players must shoot to break you out. Standing too close to other players when the detain activates will also trap them, so be mindful. Once the damage phase ends, the Aegis will despawn and the process repeats. Continue repeating this process of calling oracles and cleansing debuffs to eventually defeat Atheon and clear the raid. Collect your rewards from the chest at the back of the room. The challenge for this encounter is that the teleported players cannot shoot more than 1 oracle per wave. Simply designate one player to go first, then another player to shoot the second, then finally have the player with the Aegis drop it for a moment to destroy the final oracle. Do this for each wave throughout the encounter to complete this challenge. Thanks for watching. If this guide helped you, please leave a like. And if you have any thoughts or concerns, don't be afraid to leave a comment. I'm Nova Star Kyle, and I'll see you next time.